What is going on, guys? I am posting a video. This is my 1 month update. The tanks have been running up for a month now, and this is what it looks like thus far. I'm very happy with this tank. It's amazing, the differences in, this tank and some of the struggles and the things I've been through with this tank. I had a week and a half of just a whole lot of algae and die off, and but this tank is, I mean, it's really growing in, and it is starting to look really beautiful. I'm getting happy with the results. I got to do a trim down here on the foreground and kind of spread that out over there. But these lights they're kick-ass. They're doing a wonderful job. My Blixa Japonica is doing well. As it's all grow back after the melt, and it's going to start propagating and kind of fill in this dark area right here and kind of poof out. And yeah, it's time for another trim this weekend. I'll have to do another one, and but I'm really happy with the results. All the shrimp are doing wonderful. I haven't had any casualties from the fish that I added. I started out small because there's no cycle in this tank. The plants are soaking up all the ammonia, but everything's looking good. I mean, the foreground plants are starting to spread runners, and they're growing all over the place. And in a couple of months, it's gonna look quite different. I mean, it's gonna be filled in, and the carpet's gonna be everywhere. Um, but I'm very happy with this tank. I mean, this is probably the best planted tank I've ever set up, and this is like number 4 for me in my life. So I consider myself to be a noob, and if I give out some incorrect information on here, forgive me. But I'm a saltwater guy, but I'm highly impressed with the results of this tank. And the cool thing is, this tank was not as expensive as doing a saltwater tank. And I think it's just as beautiful, if not a lot more. I've got it dialed in, and just to let you guys know, what I'm doing now is I'm dosing, Flourish, just regular Flourish, and then I'm dosing CO2, and I'm doing a trim once a week and hacking the plants back and replanting everything, and then I'm also dosing Flourish Excel in here now as well, but I'm only doing it once a week, just to add for these the Blixia japonica. I mean, it's a very demanding plant for CO2. Not so much as light, but for CO2, it's really demanding for that. I got a female right here. Check her out. It's a big female. So all the shrimp have turned bright red, and it's we're gonna get some breeding pretty soon, and we'll get some buried females. We got a lot of females in the tank. Quite a few of them, and this colony is just gonna grow out. And on to this tank. I love this one just as much as well. This tank is a lot easier to take care of. I had a little bit of a headache with it with all the algae a week ago, but it's gone. I did a what about a 60%, 70% water change. Kept dosing the Flourish, and then the water was like completely cloudy, and it wasn't a bacterial bloom. It was, you see all these particles floating in the water right here. It's not from mechanical filtration, because I got a bunch of filter floss in the back of that back of that filter. So there, mainly from the algae die off that was growing on all the leaves, and that stuff, a low tech plant tank will kill your plants. It'll keep them from growing. It'll stunt their growth, and that is a fact. I mean, that's not an opinion. I know that I'm kind of new at planting tanks, but anything that inhibits the light on some of these plants that need higher light and need that photosynthesis, anything growing on top of it, it's going to smother it. It's the same thing in a coral reef tank. One big mistake that I've done, in this month update is, as we all do in the hobby, I got impulsive. I went to the fish store, and I wanted fish in here. I'm like, all right, it's It's been 2 weeks. I've put some bacteria in here and a little bit of ammonia, and the tank's somewhat cycled. I can add some prime in here. So let's go get some fish. You know, nobody likes to stare at a regular tank, and you know, I seen these barbs, and I was watching YouTube, and I seen this guy with a school full of barbs in their tank, and I thought they looked real jungle-like. And you know, this tank, you know, I'm letting it grow out wild. You know, everything's gonna be growing out wild in this. You know, this is like manicuring your lawn every week, weed eating, trimming, pruning. It's a bitch of a job, you know, but you know, this is the reward for that. But with this one, you know, you just let it go. So I wanted to throw a bunch of those tiger barbs in there, and lo and behold, you know, it says semi-aggressive community fish, but when you put a big pack of these guys in this tank and you introduce new fish in here, you're gonna run into some problems. So these tiger barbs have successfully killed off my angelfish, and you know, I had they were stressed out hiding over here in the corner, and then when I would watch them swim out into the water column right out here, they would immediately attack them and push them back. They weren't eating. I lost one after day number 2, and then the second one I don't know where it's at. I've looked underneath the filter back behind it. I've looked all through the plant cover. We can do a little search here real quick. I do not see him, and he didn't jump out. I've looked all over the floor and the carpet. So I am in complete just, I don't know what the hell happened to this fish. It is gone. Maybe they ate him. I don't know. I have no idea. If you guys know what happened, let me know. But as for everything else, you know, the twig catfish that I have in here, and the auto cats, and the loaches, and everything else, anything on the bottom, you know, anything that's dwelling on the bottom or out of the way of the, you know, out of the way of the water column, they're fine. They're doing okay. You know, it's not too many problems. But what I think I'm gonna have to do to get this tank, you know, stocked where, you know, I have some other fish to look at in here, is get some Geophagus redhead top. They're called Geophagus redheads, and they're a South American cichlid. They're really, really, you know, peaceful, and I wanted to get about 5 or 6 of them in here. They grow to about the size of your hand, maybe a little bit bigger. They're mouth brooders, so they grow the fry in the mouth, and I figured that'd be interesting to watch. I'd like to get like one male and a bunch of females to kind of keep the aggression down in the tank, because they are kind of big fish. But that'll be it. I'm gonna put those 5 fish in here, and you know, maybe a school of like 7 or 8 Bosemani, turquoise Bosemanis, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But I need to wait till everything grows in before I put those you know, those Geophaguses in here, because they're earth eaters, and they basically kind of like cory cats. They wiggle around all through here, and they tear up the substrate and move it all around. So I figured it'd be better to, you know, kind of get some you know, ground cover plants covering everything. So it might be a few months, and plus buying 6 of those is going to run me about almost $180. So that's going to be an expensive purchase. And right now, after setting up these tanks, and I go and spend some more money on, you know, some fish, my wife's probably going to drop kick me in the back of the head. No, no, I love her to death. She's, you know, very understanding, and a lot of people comment, you know, how do you get away with that? You know, I have a cool wife, you know, that's the way it is. But anyways, so future plans for this tank, there are going to be a shit ton of Romy nose tetras going in here. I'm going to get a massive school of them, and I'm going to get a bunch of inverts. Now I have 20 assassin snails coming via a viewer next week. Hopefully I'll get them by the end of the week. And I've been picking the snails out by hand. It's not helping. It's just, I know you can't see them now because I cleaned everything 2 days ago. But I'm going to put a couple in here, and then I'm going to put a couple in here, and a couple in the living room. So I'll be doing a video, an unboxing video, when I get those in. And I'm going to get some Thai micro crabs to go in this tank. They're little itty bitty freshwater crabs. They're fully aquatic. They're harmless. They don't hurt anything. They're not going to eat the shrimp. They'll be fine in there. And then I'm going to let these shrimp grow out, and the Romy nose tetras. And then I'm going to pick up a bunch more of these black tetras here. And then, you know, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna enjoy the tank. You know, I don't want to put any big fish in here because, you know, I've never kept shrimp before, and they're a pretty cool pet. You know, focusing on one little species of shrimp, and you know, next year, as you know, this channel, as I grow with this channel and I make more and more videos, I'm gonna do more projects. I have a whole lot of room in here for activities, and my wife said I can have this whole room. I just have to watch the budget and be responsible. So you know, I'll wait till next year after Christmas and wait for bonus time and income taxes, and I'll build another stand right here at the cutoff of this window so it doesn't impede the viewing of this tank. And I'm gonna run it to the corner there, and maybe I might set up a couple of shrimp tanks. And I also want to do a little puffer tank, like a brackish water set up. And did you know that you can actually grow Anubis plants in brackish water as long as it's hard? And you know, when I got sea salt mix already for my reef tank, so it won't really cost me a lot to set one up. I can use pool filter sand, and underneath it, I'll do like Dustin's fish tanks, and maybe put some dirt, a little bit of dirt, like a centimeter at the bottom for nutrients for the Anubis, and just do Anubis and driftwood and a brackish water tank, and do a bunch of those figure eight puffers, and you know, feed it snails or crabs or whatnot. But I don't know, who knows what I'm going to do, but I'm going to come up with a lot more tanks and do a lot more videos here to come. And I appreciate you guys checking out my tanks and subscribing. If you know any other viewers, you know, I don't have a Facebook like most people, so if you could, you know, share my videos and pass them along so I can get the word out there and grow my channel up, that'd be pretty cool. And I appreciate everybody watching, and you guys have a great weekend and take care.